Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Better late than never. Man United agenda. We've got our version of the preview: Galatasaray versus Man United in the Champions League. Good evening, guys. I know we started late, but there was a reason for that. I wanted PSG to not Newcastle to beat Newcastle. They didn't. They got the draw, which was a beautifully crafted penalty. VAR is a deadly thing, boy. But look, on Monday, bath time. We've just come on. We've just watched that. How we feeling, guys?
I want to talk about that game. I just want to say big up to Newcastle United. They went there.
Why?
They played brilliantly. They held out. You can see for the last half an hour, they didn't even touch the ball. They couldn't even get. As soon as they did touch the ball, like hot potato, they're getting rid of it. It must have been hard work. They must have been wanting to spin out and make a foul. Joe Lilton. There was times I could see he was going to lose his rag, but he's already in the yellow. It was a really good performance, and I was just urging them to go on and get that result. It was massive. They're in a group of death. I support English clubs in Europe. I want to see. It's great to see the matchup. I mean, we're playing Newcastle this weekend. We'll be talking about that later in the week, and we know how they are. They already beat us in the Carabao Cup, and we know what their strengths are as well. So to see them match up against PSG again after a great performance they had at St James's Park, I thought it was a magnificent game, and it's a credit to the Champions League. That's what we want to see. Different tests, best of English against the best of French, that kind of thing. And I thought it was a great game for the neutral myself. And I felt they were really unfortunate for all the efforts. You put in a load of effort only to lose at the last minute. And it's like, man, how sick I can feel. But yeah, great game. And credit to Newcastle United and to their manager, Don Howe's son. Don Howe was a great coach. And this manager, Eddie, his son, is proven to be a decent coach himself. So yeah, big up to those guys.
Is Eddie Howe Don Howe's son?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I never knew that.
I never knew that.
Google it. Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
The reason Amondi's bringing this up is because we had a big argument before the show started where I called Newcastle a pack of cowards for only playing one in their resting attack, which was a very ineffectual Isak. I thought they got exactly what they deserved. Even less. The keeper, like Barcola, he's very like Darwin Núñez. He looks good, but just misses like loads of chances. I thought Newcastle were pretty lucky, and I thought that they played scared. Like, you can't play 5-4-1 in a low block. It has to be 4-4-2, or you can't get out. So I like to see poor and cowardly decisions punished, especially by dodgy penalties. And Andrew knows I hate Newcastle United as well. They're one of my
but you always go to New St James's Park. You know?
I do, yeah. Well, I won't be going this Saturday. Well, be careful. What is Geordie who pops in here gonna identify me and give me the tickles or something?
Don't open your mouth. Yeah. Someone will recognise you. You know, you're getting renowned out here in the podcast world, bath time.
People are stealing my content. I've seen another one today.
So you know you're being watched.
Ooh, what have I missed?
I'll tell you about it later. It's fine.
Can I just counter, Mr. B, because you started off by saying, laughing at Newcastle. I'm not happy with you, Mr. B. That's really mean. What you just said there, and also, I want to say it's really mean what Bath Time is saying as well. Talking about tactically, I understand where he's coming from. He's talking about the 4-5-1. You can't do that on a low block, but it's risk and reward, I believe. If you take that sacrifice and put another man up front, then you're going to get buried in midfield. And those guys in midfield really worked.
They were getting buried in midfield.
We were talking about Mainu. What about that youngster for Newcastle? 17 years old. What an experience! And what a
never heard of him.
Well, you did. You know his name now.
Is that the one you gave? Is that the one you gave away the penalty?
I think it was Lynn Liverento. I don't know. Maybe it was Millie. I'm not sure, but maybe you're right. I better keep my mouth shut.
Okay. Anyway, look. You want to say hi to the guys in the chat? They think we're coming to talk to ourselves.
First of all, I missed 2 phone calls. Tried to call him back, but he didn't answer. So now we can talk, Solo. You want to talk? Talk to me through the comments because he didn't want to answer your phone. Big up to Solo. Hope you're doing well. And it's all about achievements with Solo, and that's how you get your confidence, bro. Big up. Love you. Football is bent. We need AC12. That's from Andrew Williams. Big up, Andrew Williams. I don't know what AC12 is.
Let us know, please, Andrew, because I have no idea what that is.
I don't know. Big up to MEFC Brummy Reds. Obviously, we've got a lot of Brummy Reds in here with Vincent, with Matthew Bassett. We've loaded Paddy in the past as well. So big up to you. Hope you're doing well. Unfair decision, says Bilal. Hope you're doing well, Bilal. Andrew saying the guy's supposed to be the best ref in the business. Black the bottle. F UEFA. I'm not swearing today. Vincent saying here, hi guys, what's your full take on VAR over the referees and the corners and free kicks? We just discussed that, and we're going to move on to Man United. Reggie saying, good evening, peeps. How all City almost lost. They were 2-2 at one point. Good game by Newcastle. Now we need to win our game, most certainly. And I would not support Liverpool, Man United, Man City in Champions League. That's from
Thank you.
Or in the Euros, pick up, or in the Mickey Mouse Cup. So no, thank you. Hope you guys are great. Yeah, we're all right. And Andrew Williams is having a go at Darius, saying it's pathetic, talking about pettiness, and this is going to go back and forth. Don't draw him out.
Do you know why he's doing this?
He wants to draw you out.
No, because Andrew had a one-night stand once in Newcastle, and it's one of his favourite cities in England. And this is why he loves Newcastle so much. So big up the girls.
Andrew, stop typing. It's over. 1-0 half time. That's the result. End it. You know when you're done. You're done, Andrew. AC12 is Ten Hag's team. The line of duty. Anyone else for anyone? I'm not sure, but let's get into
line
this.
of duty. I don't know. Anyway,
by the way, I do agree with Andrew. That youngster, the right back or playing left back, he was magnificent. He's the one that made a great run against us to score their goal. Looking good.
I want them to go out on Monday. I can't. I don't get this English love affair in the Champions League. I want them in the Europa. I don't want them out of Europe. I want them to play more games, be in Europa, not in the Champions League. That's the glory tournament. That's where we need to be tomorrow. When we win tomorrow, that puts us in a good stead for the game. Obviously, it's a full squad apart from the players that we knew were injured. Obviously, I am expecting Hoyland's Cup. You know what? Should we just get Solo? Should we just get Solo's team up so we can just discuss his team? Because obviously the title was the show.
Can we just build up how important it is tomorrow's game? What's the situation in the group? What's the win? What's the draw? What's all these factors? What's going to factor in before we go to the 11? So basically, we're bottom of the group, aren't we? With 2 games to go.
Yeah. Do you know how many points we've got?
3 points.
3 points.
But
what's the but?
The but is if we win our remaining 2 games, we get another 9 points, which could possibly get us to qualify. I think it's really important we win tomorrow. If we don't win tomorrow, it's Europa or Wooden Spoon. Wooden Spoon, Europa, or bottom of the group. I'm sure.
I'd rather take bottom of the group over Europa on Monday.
So what's the other game? So we're playing Galatasaray.
And Bayern have got Copenhagen.
It's away as well, I think.
Okay.
I think Bayern are away.
All right, so let's say hopefully Bayern Munich will win that game. This is how we want it to go. We win our game, that gets us on 6 points.
Bayern are home.
Okay. They're at home. Right, hopefully that's a win.
Banker then.
So if Bayern win that, forget that. So Copenhagen are on 4 points at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah.
All right, and Galatasaray on 4 points.
Yeah.
So we win tomorrow, we go to 6 points. Galatasaray have 4, and Copenhagen will still have 4. And then we go to Bayern. We Bayern Trafford, and we just need maybe, depending on Copenhagen versus Turkey, Galatasaray, and both of them will be thinking they have to win. So it could end up a draw. So it's still
that game. Where's Copenhagen, Galatasaray?
I don't know.
Hold on.
It'll probably be if Galatasaray. It'll be at Copenhagen because Galatasaray they're playing.
Yeah, be at Copenhagen.
Yeah.
We could fluke this, boys.
Wow.
I'll take a fluke. To be fair,
I'll take anything.
So starting from tomorrow, first of all, we need to win the game to be in the mix and into the final. fixtures. Yeah.
Mm.
Just want to say hi to Damien Walsh and Matthew Bassett as well. And Jale saying here, Bayern will most likely play their best team since you get lots of cash for getting points as well. And yeah, big up Big G as well in the chat.
They don't need the money. They don't need the money. Let them come to Old Trafford in a weekend team. I don't think they're going to play a weekend team. I wouldn't expect Man United to play a weekend team. I would be disappointed if we had the chance of knocking Bayern out and we played a weekend team. So I expect them to come full strength.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way Bayern will play a weakened team against Copenhagen because they have one of the most impressive home records in the Champions League, and it's something that they will be looking to protect and extend. And I think Copenhagen run them pretty close away from home. Like I think they might have even taken the lead or something.
That's right. That's right.
So I'm expecting Big Harry to really go at these Danish people.
Danish people.
Yeah. But what this means, right, is do you think we have to go? Like, how do you think we have to manage this game tomorrow, on Monday? Like, do we keep it tight? Do we go for full pelt? Something in between?
Really good question. Sometimes I don't like the idea of sort of changing tactics or fighting for a draw. We need to win. But so you can win in the 90th minute, can't you? So I do think the main thing is don't concede. So keep it tight. Yes, obviously you've got to do that when we haven't got the ball. But we know we need to go for the juggler tomorrow and give. First of all, we've got a lot of motivation. We can still qualify. We've got to get revenge for them beating us at Old Trafford. You know, the manager in the press conference said we're better than we were when we played them before, and they could be better too. You know, who knows? Also, we've got to get over this hoodoo of playing away from home. So there's a lot of motivation there, isn't there, to go out there and get the result. But I think it's about game management, isn't it? And obviously, the manager wasn't on the bench for the Everton game. He'll be back in the technical area and orchestrating stuff. So there's so much to go on this match. Good question, Bath Time. I think the main thing is don't concede, and then as long as we're in the game, there's always opportunity. We will create chances. So I would go out there, be a bit conservative based on our away form being poor, but don't concede, but always give us a chance to, even if it's in the 80th minute and still stalemate, give us that opportunity, because then the pressure will be on them and silence the crowd like we did at Everton as well. That's a key thing.
Yeah, but we did that with a goal in the first minute, and you talk about motivation, but like, Mr. B, am I wrong in saying that the biggest motivational points this season have come from a Netflix documentary and a bedsheet?
Bath time. We're going to win tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm not getting into what you just said. I'm not. I refuse.
But all right. But how about this? How about this? Right. Omondi is proposing Jose football. Right.
No, I don't want that. I don't want. I want us to go. I want us to go for the goal. We need to win. I want us to go for the first goal. I want us to open the scoring in the game. So I think we're gonna. All right. Defensively, yes, you set up, but there has to be. I mean, Højlund's scoring in the Champions League. You know, right? If it was a Premier League game, maybe, but he's found his form and he's going to want to keep that going tomorrow. So I think that we should play on the front foot. Galatasaray are a better team than us. But look, Galatasaray are a better team than us. So why should we go there fearing and sitting back? I do understand they like passing the ball back to Onana, but he's now playing with the confidence that I expected him to be playing with the ball at his feet. I'm still a bit weary at the way he dives for the ball and makes everything look spectacular, but on the floor, I think he's exactly what we needed. All right, his long passing has been a bit off, but they're actually playing out from the back and using him as that 12th, the 11th player, I have no problem with. So I think we have improved since we played them the last time. I want us to go for it. I don't want us to sit back. Yeah, I understand we might have our worries with certain defenders playing, but they've been doing their job and they haven't been terrible at it. So play the way that he wants to play. Don't drop off and go for the game.
Are you foot off the gas? Like just go for it.
Just go. They're not going to be expecting that.
All the goal scorers in the team, like get Martial, Højlund, Garnacho, like
maybe
Well,
See, okay. Can we trust Martial to play out of position? Because obviously, the title of the show was obviously about trusting certain players. And do you think he trusts Martial to do the job on the
yeah.
right?
Well, one thing about Martial that he really liked is that when we played City at home, Martial was absolutely crucial to the first half, shutting City down because he was brilliant on his positioning on Rodri. Like they could not get the ball to Rodri. Fred was man marking De Bruyne, and we had it was a real stalemate. Ollie used to trust Martial on the left wing, especially against Liverpool, dealing with people like Trent. I think most managers like the defensive capabilities of Martial, whereas as fans, for some reason we've labelled him lazy. But I think that Martial at left wing and Højlund at striker.
Left wing. So where does
Yeah,
Garnacho play?
I think Garnacho has to play on the right for this.
Should we just get solo 11 up because we're going to be
Yeah,
discussing this now? That's what we want. You want to go through the comments first
Yeah,
before
yeah,
we
yeah.
get
A few comments here. So obviously we're having a
yeah.
good discussion here about the lineup. I'll start Pellistri because Antony is effing shy from Bilal. Let's swear him, please, because I have to read them out, guys. Matthew Bassett saying, who starts up front, Højlund or Martial? We just discussed that, didn't we, about both of them. Jaylee saying here, there are people who think we're in a title run now because we're 6 points off the top. Let's play the next 9 games, then talk about title run for sure. Attack from Hydra. Double A saying Pellistri, Martial, Garnacho attackers, Kobe, Hannibal, and Bruno in midfield. Jale saying Martial used to play off the right for years. He's saying Damien Walsh is saying need to be on the front for attack. There's 2 people saying that. Matthew Bassett saying he's got a team here. Before we come to solo 11, Matthew Bassett's 11, which we like to compare, saying Anana, Dalot, Maguire, Lindelof, Shaw. Mainu gets the start. Amrabat, 2-man midfield with Fernandes, Pellistri, Martial, and Højlund. No Rashford. And Big
Rashford
G.
suspended.
Oh, is he suspended? Oh, gosh. Big G saying here, you know, Eric Ten Hag is not going to drop Rashi, but Big G, unfortunately,
He dropped himself.
yeah, he's out of the game. What's he suspended for? Yellow
he
card.
got sent off.
Oh, of course.
Your memory's as bad as mine.
Yeah, I'm getting there.
Mine's
Mr.
not
B.
very good either, to be honest. Like, look at us, 3 forgetful old men.
All right, guys. There's a couple of guys in the comments saying attack, and we've got a few lineups as well. But let's go to the main one that really counts.
Solo's 11. Obviously, you know the deal with Solo. Oh, look, makes it sound like he's dead. Look, let's look at the Solo 11 up, guys, and we can discuss it while it's on the screen. So, he's gone obviously an honor in goal. Sure. He's gone Lindelof and Maguire. Are we keeping Lindelof and Maguire?
And that's the Ollie back line, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think yes. Like, I don't know if Galatasaray get a lot of balls into the box, so I'm not sure if we need Evans. I think Varane is just a non-starter at the moment. And I also think Maguire and Lindelof is a better partnership than Maguire and Varane. But it just works better.
So does Eric Ten Hag by the looks of things. On Monday, what about Aaron Wan-Bissaka instead of Dalot? Are we happy with that?
That's an interesting one. I think it depends on the games. I think they're both fit, which is great. We've got a choice now. Dalot played well, got the assist the other day for Garnacho. That would be seen over and over and over again. And it's good to see, as BATHTIME mentioned the other day, us getting assists from the right and performing better down the right, as we saw with Rashford and Dalot interchangeably.
Yeah, Antony's not there.
Yeah, Antony's back now, isn't he? He's back available again, according to the manager in the press conference. And probably training again today. Wan-Bissaka, what does he offer? Obviously, he gives you that defensive security. I think he's coming up against his former teammate in Saha, who Saha said in training he couldn't get a sniff out of him. He was all over him like a rash. So I think that's something that could be considered again with Saha, because Saha, he did bully our boy Dalot, in the previous game, didn't he? If you recall, he sort of we don't expect it, but he was wiry and strong, but he bullied him for the goal at Old Trafford. So maybe that's a good choice to put Wan-Bissaka in and say to him, bruv, just lock this boy down like he robbed you, like he robbed your yard or robbed your girl or something like that.
I don't think Ten Hag speaks like that, although I'd love to see him start doing that.
You never know. You never know. You know?
Yeah. I didn't think that Wan-Bissaka played very well when he came on against Everton. He nearly gifted them 2 goals, to be honest. And we know Shaw is coming off at some point in this game. He won't have the fitness to last like beyond the 70th, 75th minute, I don't think. So we're going to see Dalot and Wan-Bissaka at some stage in the match. And I think that it's better to start with Dalot because I think he's performed really well this season, despite a couple of like very obvious ricks, a bit similar to Onana. I think that Dalot has been really, really good, and I think that if you're looking at Wan-Bissaka's best attribute, which is defending wide areas during transitions, that's more likely to happen the later the game goes on. So I think that he will start Shaw and Dalot, and then he'll move to Dalot to left back and bring Wan-Bissaka on, and then go for it when Wan-Bissaka's in the defence. I think it's going to be tight for 60 minutes, and then that change is gonna signal United going all out if it's 0-0 or we're behind or whatever.
You know what? You're very convincing, Bathtime, and you made some good points. I'll give you that, bro. That's a lot to consider there. But yeah, you made a really good point there about that. Could be.
Central midfield. He's gone Scott, Bruno, and Mainu.
Good boy, Solo.
Would he change it?
No.
Would he have? I would have to agree with Bathtime on this. It would be nice not to change it, as much as we all have our opinions. But I think the fact that they scored 3 goals in that game, and Mainu did what Mainu did. Bruno, obviously, I think it was one of Bruno's better games. And Scott's crashing the box, as Bathtime says.
Yeah.
Are we changing that 3?
Sorry, Monday. I've got my thinking cap on here, and
Yeah,
I didn't like Mainu having to go to right-sided centre back in the build-up. Like normally, a player goes there because it's the furthest point from the press. You see the most of the pitch, so you like to have a good passer in that position. It's sometimes where you see Eriksen or Bruno popping up in that position. But if Wan-Bissaka plays, Wan-Bissaka can't do inversion, and he's not great at providing width. Like Dalot does all those things. So if Wan-Bissaka plays, it basically has to keep Kobbie Mainoo central, which I think is where everyone wants to see him. But at the other time, I think that because he's played more minutes with Dalot, McTominay, Fernandes around him, I think that that's probably another indication that if Mainoo is starting, I think Dalot has to start because they've got more minutes with each other together, and they would have trained like certain things with each other. So sorry, you talk.
Yeah, I think there's another good point you're making there about it. It's interesting because I'm only just hearing it from you now, and it does make sense. I think Mainoo, he was asked in the press conference about Mainoo starting again, and he said if they're good enough, they're old enough. For something, that statement that the manager said. It was Bruno and Ten Hag in the press conference, by the way. And obviously, we saw post-match against Everton, Bruno was talking up Mainoo, saying he deserved to be man of the match and he can improve. So what great confidence. I mean, we was before the game against Everton, we were saying that the question would have been asked. It would have been a question mark. Should we start Mainoo away at Everton in that sort of atmosphere? And he did, and he played a dream. He's so calm and composed on the ball, and it didn't affect him. But then there's contrast, isn't it? The manager was saying, well, if he can do that against Everton, he can do that in hell. and which is the Galatasaray.
If he can do it in Liverpool, he can do it in hell.
Yeah, exactly. So similar situations, and he doesn't seem to phase him. That says a lot about the guy. So not only he's technically good on the ball and he's advanced beyond his years with intelligence and IQ, he can also handle situations like that. I remember Paul Ince playing against Barcelona in 1991 Cup Winners' Cup final. He had the doo-doo problem. He was really shitting himself. And that was the running joke, wasn't it, with all the guys? Because he was up against Barcelona. It was the biggest stage he's played on, even though previous year he played in the FA Cup final. But he was really worried. And you wouldn't expect that from a character like Paul Ince. But that was the making of him. And I think if Kobe can come away with a win tomorrow by starting as well, that puts a lot of confidence into him, which we saw with Everton. And also that will make him a greater player. These experiences are massive, as we saw today with that young man playing for Newcastle. That will be forever in his memory. And that was, his chest will swell up. And I think Mainu's chest right now, they're going to have to upgrade his shirt size because he's so swell up. He's so boosted right now. He must be feeling, I finally taken my opportunity and give me an extra large shirt because my chest swell up and I feel good and I can handle anything Galatasaray have to give us. And yeah, like you said, bringing the ball out from the back, I think he's the key player. He does it better than anyone I've seen in our midfield, including Casemiro, including Scott McTominay, Amrabat, all these guys. I think he's brilliant at it. You see the way he sort of suckers guys in, just drops a little shoulder and waltzes forward, pops it into feet, great high percentage of passing. It breaks the lines with his passes as well, plays with his head up. He's got a lot of drive as well. And what the manager also said is about his defensive responsibilities as well. He's got the energy and the legs. No one else is unique in our side. He's got the legs to get back, whereas Casemiro, Amrabat, even though Amrabat, we talk about the World Cup against Mbappe, I still think the youthfulness of our young man Kobe in midfield and what he did clearing the ball off the line, blocking tackle shots, he's got the energy to do all that defensive responsibilities as well. So I think it's got to the stage where we said this a few months ago, you can go back, I'm going to clip it. Bathtime said we can't be getting to the point where we're dependent on a young man like this. I think we need to take your words back because we are going into Galatasaray.
Absolutely
and we are dependent on him, and he's the first name in that midfield clean team sheet based on everything I've just talked about.
No, Amondi, that is a ridiculous comment, and I'll tell you why it's ridiculous. Because you've built an entire team that's cost 400 million, and only one player can unlock it, who is a 19-year-old. That's why. That is the statement that I was making. It's absolutely absurd to set a team up like that, where you need an untried youth player to make everything click. Although you were talking about Paul Ince earlier, do you remember against Galatasaray? There's that picture of him like headless as he's putting his shirt on. Odds on Maguire recreating that. I'd love to see that redone. All right,
Mr. B, can you look? You're the judge here. Who's right, me or Bath Time, about the youth Mainu being ready? And
I'm playing Mainu. Listen, he if he didn't get injured, he would have been playing, and we probably wouldn't have bought Amrabat.
We didn't buy Amrabat.
We've got him on loan. We probably wouldn't have gone in and got Amrabat on loan. I think if Mainu wasn't injured, Amrabat wouldn't be at the club. So yeah, I think he's ready. He's ready.
Are we dependent on him?
It's only one game. I wouldn't like to think we are, but if we are, so what? I don't care. We were dependent on Wayne Rooney at 17, 18, whatever age he came. If he's ready, he's ready. And Ten Hag is a better judge of players than I am. I'm not going to be worried about him burning out this season. He's not going to play him, every single minute of every single game. But if he feels that he's one of our better players, then yeah, play him. Absolutely no problem in playing him. Don't care about his age.
Yeah, I've got no problems playing him. The point is I think it's ridiculous that for this system to work, it's relying on Mainu. That's the point.
Yeah, I get it.
All the money
but it should have. But it should have been Casemiro, though. No.
Well, I mean, it was Frankie De Jong. Basically, he sees Mainu as a sort of Frankie De Jong player who can get us from second phase play to third phase play, and there's only one player in the squad who's got the skill set to do it, and I think that's a real, like, it's almost a violation of our transfer policy. Like, someone like Mount is not an all-phase midfielder or something like that. He's not going to get you like up the pitch, and I think it's ridiculous that that we need that so much, and there's only one player in the squad who can do it, and that player we don't know enough about Mainu yet. Like, even though he was outstanding against Everton, he did a lot of amateurish stuff, like off the ball. He crossed his pivot when he should, like, Decore had a chance, and it was from Mainu's poor positioning and him like having to cover ground to try and stop the cutback that a more experienced midfielder would have been in a better position to do. Like, Mainu he's young, so he's got to learn on the job, and I think that's poor planning. I'd much prefer it if we could just play Mainu for home games and things, and not have to throw him in a do or die against Galatasaray.
Okay, so who would you be playing instead of Mainu?
I wouldn't. Like, it has to be Mainu. That's the point. That's the point, Mr. B. That it has to be Mainu, and I think that's terrible planning.
Guys, hit the like button, please.
I finally get you now. You're saying it's ridiculous that we've got to the age we have to depend on a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, or whatever he is, young player. Just quickly, sorry, Mr. P, just gonna drop these. Nothing to lose. United at the bottom, go for it. From Damien Walsh. Jale saying there's a team. Anana Shaw, Lindelof, Varane, patched up by Eric Ten Hag, Maguire, and a 5-man defence with Wan-Bissaka as well. Mainu, Scotty, Bruno, Garnacho, and Højlund. And Antony is most likely players that he's going to pick. Bilal saying Aaron, right back, Raphael, Varane, Luke. Bilal's always going for this 3-man defence. Have you noticed he's always dropping comments about 3-man defence? So
he's on first name player terms with all the players.
Yeah, exactly. Oh god, you can see it there. No, it's a 4-man defence then. Sorry, I'll take that back. Kobe in midfield with Scott, Bruno, Pellistri, Ramos, and Garnacho. That's gone first thing. Mainu has the Ericsson role. He does the same thing, joining the two centre backs so the wing backs can go forward. There's
Almost
a difference
right.
between full backs and wing backs. Isn't wing back playing a 3-man defence, 3 centre?
No. A wing back is when that player is providing the width. So if you have wing backs, you don't have wingers. He's talking about La Salida Volpiano, which is a midfielder dropping in, and then your two full backs. Normally, what you do is you play a 3-4-3 in that system, and they're not wing backs. They're full backs, because like Antony and Garnacho, for example, in this here, would be in wide areas, not in inside areas, and they would be the out balls. So I'm really good, Harley, but I've just been pedantic about stuff there.
Sorry, I do think fullbacks is winning the back four. Gary Neville's a fullback. Ashley Cole. These guys are fullbacks. Wingbacks are when you've got players like Doherty from Spurs, for example, or who's.
So what do you class? What about Trippier?
Yeah. Trippier's a right back for me, a fullback. Sorry, a fullback. But these guys can play in different positions, but I think there is a difference, because Rebel always calls them wing backs as well. So I just wanted to clarify, there is a difference between a fullback and a wing back. I always see a wing back as playing further forward. Usually in a 5, wouldn't be in a 2, in a 4 necessarily. I always think wing backs, you see them in systems with like Conte, Antonio Conte systems. He plays wing backs. He brought a lot of wing backs into his side who can play that position. The guy from the Dutch guy from Inter Milan that we were interested in, he's not right back, but he's more wing back.
Dumfries, yeah. But that's the difference. They provide width. Like anything with winger is different to inside forward, because it's about the width. The wing backs are the guys that are occupying the wide areas in your 5-man attack. That's literally all it is. Like a fullback isn't.
Agreed.
Yeah, I need that. Right, Garnacho. He definitely starts, right?
That's a good one, isn't it? You'd say, how can you drop him after that goal? He must be on fire right now. Extra large for him as well. Even though he's a small guy, his chest must be swell up right now, feeling boosted. Look, he clearly plays better from the left, so you have to play him in his best position. there was a point. Look at the development. There was a stage. We can go back a few months. We were talking about him being an impact player coming off the bench, weren't we? But it looks like now, even though he started the first 2 games of the season, dropped off a little bit. He's come back in the side. Obviously, he's made impact with that goal after 3 minutes, which shows that how can you drop him? And as the manager said, I keep referring to what the manager says in the press conference. When he was talking about Kobe Mainu, he was saying you're only as good as your last game. And if that's the case, then this team looks, apart from maybe the striker, looks like almost identical to what we've started with. And the right back as well, or the wing back in Wan-Bissaka, almost identical to what we started with the other day. How do you drop Garnacho after that? That would just kill someone's spirit. You don't want to kill someone's spirit like that. So I'm with Solo on this one. I agree with Solo for once. I think he's right to start with Garnacho on the left-hand side, and the rest have to work around him.
What about Amrabat in the midfield? I wanted to ask about. A lot of people have talked about Amrabat, like how he would start with Amrabat, Mainu, and Fernandes. Does that have any credit for you?
It could work in regards to maybe it would give us midfield control, and obviously have Scott as the box crusher when he comes on if we need the goal.
And Bruno at right wing.
What, when we're chasing the game?
Well, no. I mean, what you could do is you could play McTominay, Mainu, and Amrabat.
Oh, no. I'm not moving Bruno. No.
Okay, so you're dropping McTominay for Amrabat.
Am I allowed to say yes?
Yeah, of course you are.
Okay, yeah, I would.
You would go for that.
Yeah, and go maybe to try and shore up the defensive part of the game. Yeah, I would definitely. And then if we need the goal, or if the game needs changing, a little bit of more physicality, then yeah, you bring on Scott. But I would go a Mainu. Although saying that would be short though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it might be too short.
So what would Amrabat give you? What would Amrabat and Mainu give you that Amrabat and McTominay lacks, and vice versa?
I just see that Amrabat's a better player than McTominay. But saying that, he hasn't played better than McTominay has.
What does that tell you then, Mr. B?
It tells me that he's probably supposed to be starting, to be fair. But it's just reasoning. It's just favourites, isn't it? It's just favourites bath time.
Well, that's why I'm asking for what it gives you.
I think you don't need Amrabat if you've got Kobe Mainu in there. There's similar
You
players.
think this...
I think you could have that balance with McTominay. If you're playing McTominay and Amrabat, for example, Amrabat sort of pick up the ball deep, because we know McTominay picking up the ball deep is not as effective. He's the sort of guy you want driving into the box and having that energy to get up and down the pitch. So Amrabat and Kobe would be like for like, and I would start Kobe over Amrabat at the moment, based on what I've seen with his confidence at the moment. So it wouldn't be a case of playing Kobe and Amrabat. McTominay, I feel, has deserved his place with a form side that we won.
He doesn't deserve to be dropped. I'll give you that.
So he has to play that midfield because he gives you that drive that no one else can do. There's a lot of unique players that we have in our midfield. It's not like for like. So whether we have Hannibal, whether we have McTominay, none of these guys are identical, And the only like for like we can get similar would be you got Amrabat, Ericsson, and Kobe. They're both good. They're all good at actually dropping deeper and bringing the ball out because they've got good passing composure. But I think they're not like Ericsson hasn't got the legs of Kobe, for example. Amrabat hasn't got the drive of Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Or the confidence yet to be playing in that sort of position. So I think it's really important that we play either Kobe and McTominay or Amrabat and McTominay. And based on Solo's 11 and based on recent form, for me, it's definitely got to be McTominay and Kobe.
I kind of agree on the basis that Kobe's not going to last the whole game. Like, I think that he'll be 75, 80 minutes or something like that. And we've got to bring someone on for him. And it's probably better to bring Amrabat on so that we can sort of continue with the game plan. rather than put McTominay sort of deeper where we're not using enough of his attributes. So that's why I wouldn't. But I also understand that having two high volume, like short little passing players that can receive like from all different angles, and one can get forward, means that it would let us see Kobe like what he can do further up the pitch. Because one of the issues I have with McTominay is the box crasher. Is as everyone knows, his job is to run channels and apply the final touch. A lot of the time, McTominay will be in positions where he can slip someone through, and I haven't seen. I mean, he did it for Ronaldo actually in the debut against Newcastle, but I haven't seen enough of McTominay in forward positions slotting it through to someone yet to be confident in saying he can or he can't do it. But it's such a high edge game. It might come down to that. It might literally come down to McTominay like making the correct pass at the right time. And I think that Mainu is more likely to make that correct pass. So it's a difficult one, but obviously I'm going to start with McTominay because I think he brings far too much with his skill set to leave him on the bench.
Yeah.
Rasmus, we all start with Hoyland over Martial. Half time.
I'm playing both of them, to be honest. I'm not letting Antony back in the team. I'm putting Garnacho on the right and I'm putting Martial on the left because I think that like for example in Solo's got Manu and McTominay the wrong way around here. But if you have Manu, Shaw, Bruno, and Martial, I think that is a beautiful set of players to compress the pitch with and work around. I think that Martial is our least selfish forward player. He enjoys dropping. He enjoys dropping deep. He enjoys linking with players. I think you're far more likely to get balls into Hoyland and McTominay with Martial in that position. You can't drop Garnacho, and I don't really like Antony, and I think that Garnacho as a direct player on the right is much more likely to get to the byline, be annoying, get a cross in, win a free kick, than Antony, who's just going to show his terrible ball striking and scowl. So that's I would basically play that team that we see, with the exceptions of basically the right hand side where I put Garnacho and Dalot.
Would you contemplate playing Martial on the right and leaving Garnacho on the side?
No. Just on one reason, which is that we like to compress the left-hand side of the pitch. If we get pressed again the way that Everton do, I think that Martial is not hugely, but is much more likely to win headers than Garnacho is because of his superior strength. Because we saw constantly we were trying to use the out ball as Garnacho, and what we could even do is we could put Hoyland on the right for first phase play. And have him winning the headers with Martial occupying central zones. But more than that, I think that Martial is a better combination player than Garnacho. So if all our attacks coming down the left with Shaw and Bruno and Kobe, I think that Martial is a better player with his touch and his passing to have there than Garnacho is. And I think that Garnacho will probably be our most effective right winger because he commits players early and he goes at them. And Zaha's also going to be on that side. And I don't like Zaha's defensive work. So I think that Garnacho might have more success on the right.
Definitely done your homework. That's a really good analysis there.
I haven't done any homework. I didn't even look at the news today. This is just experience, Omondi. You know this.
This is the thing. It's great discussion. This, I think. Look at Rasmus. He's just coming back into the side. He's been injured. Do you risk him? Martial had a good game the other day. Did you play him based on that, on form? Everything that BATHTIME said about Martial's game, I think his hold-up plays at the moment is better than Rasmus. Rasmus is a bit... I was thinking about it the other day. I was lying in bed and thinking about Rasmus. I was thinking... I actually was. And I was thinking about the line, what's going through his mind, what, he comes in, expectation. His attributes, I think he needs to calm it down. He should be looking at someone like Martial and saying, how do I incorporate being as effective as him without losing what I've got, you know. And it's about using your brain and holding up the ball and popping it off, which he has got. He's got that game, but I think he's trying too hard at the moment to impress and trying too hard, chasing down everything. You know, he's got to be learn and become more experienced. And I think Martial's great having there because there's an age gap between them and some experience between them. So for him, he should be looking at Martial's game, the way he links up the play, the way he holds up the ball, and try to take some pointers from that. And that'd be key. So I would start with Martial tomorrow and then bring Rasmus on later on. Garnacho on the left, and I play Rashford on the right.
He's
suspended.
Rashford's suspended.
Oh my God, here I go again. That's a tough decision now, isn't it? That's really messing me up. All right, yeah, I see where you go now. So play Garnacho, Martial, and yeah. Oh God, yeah. All right, I'm with back for half time. I'll play Garnacho on the right, Martial on the left, and go with that. Yeah, you have to.
On the right, these are the options. You can play Pellistri, Antony. If you're being a bit fruity, you can play Dalot and Wan-Bissaka on the same
No
flank.
chance.
Or you can play Bruno. I think that those are the players that can play out in that right-hand situation.
The betting odds would be Antony or Martial, or Garnacho Martial sort of thing. Antony could get a look in maybe then.
See, my worry, like you was talking about covering certain positions. Martial's now confident that he's going to score, so we'll probably have a different Martial playing. Do you think it could be, you know, you were talking about Amrabat and Kobe. Amrabat replacing Kobe on 75 minutes when he got tired. Do you think that he might, instead of playing Martial, I understand, I get why you're talking about playing Martial, but do you think that he would maybe bring Martial on to replace
Martial as a
Højlund?
finisher? Yeah, he likes Martial as I say as a finisher. I mean, like as a substitute.
Yeah.
Like he brought him on against Fulham and stuff. I think that the better impact sub is Højlund because Højlund adds more physicality to the attack. So
and he'll be chasing down tired defenders.
Yeah, and he can go long. Is the other thing is that Maguire can pump it in, and Højlund can compete against those Turkish centre backs for it. So I think that if you're sort of looking at the game in those stages, where what do we do if it's 0-0 with 75 minutes to go?
Yeah,
the obvious answer is a big man. But the thing is that like Højlund and Martial, I don't think you can get 90 minutes out of both of them.
Both of them, yeah,
like or either of them. So it's a really tricky one, and this is why I asked. This is why I asked Monday earlier.
Yeah.
How would you approach this game? Because I think a Manchester United manager plays Martial and Højlund and gets the job done by the 75th minute.
Yeah.
Because
there's your answer. I'm with you on that. I keep forgetting about Rashford. Forgive me for that. But that's a real tough dilemma.
But then, okay, just saying, just half time, guys. Before while we're chatting, look, get your score predictions in. But half time, so if they're both on, and we don't have the result, we don't have anybody to bring on.
Well, the Joe Hugel, who obviously is like, I mean, it's an opportunity to make a name for himself. A lot of United players have done it, but if that happens, I know this sounds ridiculous, and I'm not winding you up. We scored the last-minute goal from Maguire winning a flick on and McTominay getting in the box. I think that we've seen this a couple of times where I think that he will play Eriksen and Bruno at centre-back.
The back for a long ball.
And he will put Maguire and McTominay as the centre-forwards and who fit in. And that's like the last sort of 10 minutes. And I don't think it's ridiculous because we've seen Bruno at centre-back, we've seen Eriksen at centre-back, and we've seen McTominay and Maguire at centre-forward when things are desperate.
I don't want to see that. I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that ending the game. So yeah, let's hope we get it done early and he gets these subs right.
But for you, then like one of Martial and Højlund has to be a sub. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Who's the sub?
He said you're as good as your last game. Martial scored one and won a penalty, so it would be Martial starting.
And Antony on the right.
Yeah.
See, and this is it. I'm with you, Bath Time. Antony offers the team nothing. He actually doesn't offer the team anything, but I don't think he can play. He can't play Pellistri there. Do you think Hannibal? Do you think Hannibal could play on the right?
No.
Well, I tell you what, we can't. I really don't think that Antony should even be in the squad. For
Yeah,
this.
I don't think.
I'll tell you why. It's a different reason. It was Acuna versus Sevilla, where he got in a personal fight with Acuna during that match. And last year, a lot of people talked about how Arsenal woke up the Anfield crowd at 2-0. Yeah. Antony will wake that crowd up, even if we're 4-0 up. And I think that Antony, he winds people up too much, and it's all right at home or something, but you do it away in one of the most fiery arenas in European football. I think you're asking for a problem, and I'm not sure that Ten Hag will consider that. But that is why I wouldn't have Antony. One of the many reasons why I wouldn't have Antony anywhere near the pitch.
I'm sorry, but I've changed my mind. I've got to be Antony on the right. Get out on the left. And Mark up front. It's good, but it's good reason. That's a mentality thing. But he hasn't got the flamey blonde hair anymore. He's sort of calmed it down. He's toned it down. He's been humbled with all the allegations against him. I think he's got a responsibility to go out there. And
but Amanda, has he shown any level of performance? I mean, it's the same with Varane. The cold light of day, Varane hasn't played well at the beginning. He hasn't played well this season. So I know you're saying beginning, but surely I'm just not sure.
The chance.
This is my point. This is a must-win game.
Yeah, I know. He does deserve the chance because he's been playing the majority of games under the manager. If anyone knows...
Yeah, but he stunk the place out.
The manager's on this panel right now. He would give us more insight into Antony than what we know.
What we know is that Antony was there for the really poor run of form, and then he pisses off, and we start winning games. So why should he come back in?
That's a good point. Jeff agrees with you. And just another one here. Big G saying Fernandez on the right, McTominay at 10 and Martial up front. So there's so many dilemmas. This solo 11 is really interesting this week, isn't it? Because there's so much.
He's probably picked the right 11 though. That's pretty much what I expect from Ten Hag.
Yeah. Okay, we will see. We will see how this goes down.
Well, look, you know what? If he does go with that, I think we've got cover.
As soon as the team sheet comes out for tomorrow, I'm sure there'll be a lot of text in between.
Oh yeah. Remember, everyone, it's a really early kickoff tomorrow.
5:45.
Is there a watch along?
Yes.
Maybe. Okay.
I'll see.
And subscribe, turn notifications on, and you can find out.
There you go. Look, there's 20 of you in the chat, so we're expecting at least 20 likes. To be fair, so look, we did ask for. I did beg. We did ask for score predictions. Do we have any in before we give ours? And
yeah, we do.
For the evening.
Saying 2-1 to any, so he doesn't care. He just thinks that's going to score line. And we got a good one here from our very own Vincent Bullock. He's saying 4-0 to United away from
forever the optimist.
Magnificent.
Good on you, Vincent.
Not sure, but
what's yours, Amondo?
Well, Matthew Bassett's saying 2-1 to Man United away from home. I think, look, like I said, I like to be positive about these things. You have to remember, we're playing in Turkey, and they have a lot of foul play, pardon the pun. And we need to give them a roasting, pardon the pun. And we need to give them a stuffing, pardon the pun.
Is this what you do instead of reading about player suspensions and things? Just sit in bed with your joke lab.
I forget the puns now. I think it's gonna be a tough game. I think I underestimated them. They came and gave us a good result, but I think sometimes when you played away from home, the way we were at Old Trafford, we weren't really that confident. Now, like Newcastle tonight, who prove when SHIT hits the fan and you have to go out there and get a result. and you have to prove the critics wrong. I think you need a rousing team talk. I think you need to go out there and prove it, and this could be turn our season round, the catalyst to make us playing really well, because we've got a lot of tough games coming up, as you know, coming this coming weekend. The Everton game was great. This will be even greater if we get a result. I think we can do it. I'm going to go for a tight whistle. Every time we get the ball, they'll be whistling, all that kind of thing, booing. I'm going for a tight 1-0 win, and we see the game out and get that goal, whether we get it early
on Monday. We're not. We're not. The game's not going to be 1-0 with 85 minutes.
It's about time we change something on that in that respect.
But Monday, why do you like 1-0? Just answer me. Why
I like 1-0? It shows what. Look at the old great Liverpool sides.
Yeah, but we don't have that in our team on Monday. Yeah, we don't have that.
This is where what you aim for. Look at the old Italian side. You go 1-0 up. That was it. Game over. I think teams.
So the score predictions are what you expect, not what you think they're going to be.
Well, I want to see that from our team, not just from the coach, from the players on the pitch as well. You're 1-0 up.
If we win in games 1-0, we're not that team.
Well, we need to change that. That's an area that we need to change. It's a mental thing, and I think we need to show that. We talk about leadership.
I'm never going to get it.
Leadership. We got our captain, got more kudos points for me, even though Bathtime disagrees by giving a penalty to Rashford the other day. That's been a big talking point. I think he's a leader out there. We've got to have more leaders out here. Maguire's got something to prove, but I was going to say Bathtime. I mean, Bruno's got something to prove. We've got Garnacho's on a high. We've got Kobe Mainu who could start. McTominay. All these players have got something to prove. This is backs against the wall. This is really tight game, massive game. It's a must-win game. Can we go there and do it? I say yes, we can. Is it going to be hard? Yes. How can we do it? By scoring a goal and shutting them down and getting them whistling and trying to look for some foul play to get a goal. Because I think if we're good enough defensively instructed, have a good enough structure, which we have shown at times this season. Remember, Onana's got most clean sheets in the league with 5 so far this season, more than anyone else, a bit like De Gea last season. So remember, it shows us that we can keep clean sheet, get that goal, keep clean sheet, see it out. Might be heartbreaking. That's why Mr. B, with his be a bit tender, doing a watch along. With the pressure like that, that's why you don't want a 1-0.
Yeah, I don't want 1-0.
You don't like the pressure, but you will learn to enjoy it, learn to embrace it, because I can see us holding on and getting that result that we need.
Thank you, Bathtime. Now start.
It's just like I think that, like I said, Monday's basically saying let's treat this like a cup final. Let's be solid, pinch a goal, and then when we get the lead, let's use our structure and our technique to just control the game, not give them any chances, and defend on the front foot. I don't think you really meant to say a sort of back to the wall performance. You mean like we just Pep says you just put the ball in the fridge for half an hour and the other team can't get it, you tire them out and all that sort of stuff. Right, that would be fine. But I think it's handbrakes off and we go for goals. Like I think that's the only way to do it. We've shown in the last couple of weeks that we can grind teams, that we can go toe to toe, we can defend solidly in a block. But against Everton, with Martial coming back, we saw the return of a bit of Ollie football, of a bit of transitions and a bit of attacking at speed with exciting wing play. And that's what I want. That's what I want to see. I want something similar, but the important thing is I want goals. I don't want to rely on the defence for once. I don't want to rely on the physicality in the midfield. I want these glorified overpaid attackers to go out and show why they have these famous shirt numbers at Manchester United. Like I think I didn't actually read it, so you might not have said this, but I saw a headline from Roy Keane saying that it's the attackers at Manchester United that need to do more. And we've seen the defence and we've seen the midfield working hard, contributing, playing with courage and helping each other out. We haven't seen that from the attack. So I want after this game, Garnacho, Martial and Højlund to be seen as, right, that is the attack now. That's what I want from this game, is I want them attacking players to go and beat up these Greek farmers and I want Turkish delight headlines everywhere.
Pun.
Yeah. Like, it's a shame we don't have Delict. But like, but that's what I want. It's time for the attackers to finally step up and show what they've got. And I want goals. I want 3 goals, and I'm going for a 3-1. More hope than judgment.
See, and I'll go 2-1, but I would like to go 3-1, but I think we go 2-0 up and then they'll score 1, and we'll see the game out that way. I can't do 1-0 on Monday. I'm never going to understand why you expect a team of Man United to be doing 1-0s. I just don't think we have the players. Definitely not at the moment. So I don't see 1-0. I see a 2-1 United.
Wow, massive. Let's just enjoy it, guys, because it's a massive game. And we're at a stage of the season. We want it to be in the Champions League. We want to remain in the Champions League, most certainly. I mean, big up to Sports Moss World. He's saying 2-2. That will knock us out. We don't want that result. But big up all the same. Subvid saying, sorry to say, I think we will crumble, but I hope not. Jeff is in and out, he said. Hope you're doing well, Jeff. Everything's right with family and loved ones. Saying Nana, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Shaw, Dalot, Short centre back, he's staying there. McTominay, Mainu, and Bruno. Martial, Haaland, and Garnacho on the right.
You said Martial left, yeah.
Oh, I like that. Short centre back is something I didn't think of.
That, did we?
No, that's good. I like that team.
Fire Stick Football unlock now, says Damien Walsh.
That could work though, couldn't it?
Could, but you can't get. You can only get.
You're not going to get full game.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Mainu, so like because of that,
and Højlund.
Plays that, and Højlund, yeah, and Martial. If he does that, it has to be like handbrake off. Get it done within 75 minutes. I don't think that's his mentality.
Big up to me, Mike. He's saying 3-0. Glory, Man United. I'd like to see that. Rajat is saying not going to end 1-0. And more comments here. Like Seville, maybe just meant for the UEFA Europa. Obviously, he's an Arsenal fan. We respect you. But, yeah, we'll see about that. Mainu, loved the boy in pre-season. And, wow, he's a saviour, it seems to me. A bit like how Smith Rowe and Saka were for Arteta a couple of seasons ago. And Casemiro is when is he back? He's going to be injured for a period of time. And Rajat saying here, Phil Martial does well, especially when he has more confidence.
Well, look, guys, we always go over the limit. We actually said that it was going to be a short one. but like,
sorry.
But like normal, once we get chatting, we start talking. And once you guys in the chat start commenting, the show gets extended. Look, that's what we're here for. We might not like it. We might feel a bit tired in the morning, but look, that's what we're here for. So on Monday, thank you very much.
Thanks everyone.
Time.
Thanksgiving, turkey.
Oh, Jesus.
Shut up, Monday. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Half-time dropped one earlier, a turkey pun as well. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, good. Right, now we're gone. I didn't want to cut you off because I didn't want to be rude. My mum brought me up with manners. But guys, we are out.